The last few games in the Lord of the Rings franchise have actually been excellent, with Middle-earth, Shadow of War, and Shadow of Mordor, and even the Lego games. But let's take a look at the latest entry in this franchise. We're talking about the Lord of the Rings Gollum on the Steam Deck. We're playing it at 1280 by 800, being the Steam Deck's native resolution with all the settings as low as they get, and FSR in quality mode. Do note that you actually can lower it to performance or ultra performance to get anywhere between 2 and 8 frames per second more, especially on the cutscenes themselves, and they all look terrible, so I rather play it in quality mode. Now, the gameplay itself is not bad. It actually will play anywhere between low 30s all the way to high 50s, usually staying above 30 frames per second, or in many scenes it will actually stay above 40 frames per second. And every once in a while it will blip into the high 20s. Most of the actual big performance issues are actually on the cutscenes themselves. Normally the cutscenes are around 20 frames per second or around 30 frames per second or more. However, as you can see in the first cutscene that I put there, and I put it on purpose, and it was a long cutscene just so you guys can see, you can actually go all the way to 10 or all the way to low teens to mid teens. And then you can all the way go up to like 30 frames per second on the same actual scene, as you can see there on that cutscene. So the actual cutscenes themselves, like I said, they're not actually optimized. So they can be very low, like you can see right here, very, very low. Or they can go all the way up to 60 frames per second. But the gameplay itself, I didn't have those issues. I could hit all my jumps, etc., etc. And like I said, it will blip every once in a while to high 20s. But it only when that happens is usually when you're like in an area where there's like a lot of characters, but usually you're not actually doing any platforming there. But like I said, it usually will stay above 30 or 40 frames per second. So capping this one at 30 or 40 frames per second might be a great idea. I actually had no issues with the game in the sense that it was a platform game. It's, I don't know if I'll say a little outdated the way they do platforming in this game. The story was okay. I mean, I wouldn't really recommend anybody. Like, for example, if anybody asked me of a great game for Lord of the Rings, I'll say go do either of the Middle-earth games, Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War. Those are excellent games. But I guess some people might like it. And it's very playable on the Steam Deck. Like the playing part is very playable. Like I said, the cutscenes, depending on which cutscenes, most cutscenes go around 20 or 30 frames per second. But like as you see this one, it can actually go drop to the actual low teens to mid teens. And if you like what I've been bringing you, and you want to, and you haven't done so yet, please don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification button, and like this video. But anyway, I'll let you watch the rest of the video, and I'll see you on the next one.
Ghost, spy, ghost basher.
Hide. Mark. Now in goes the redstone. Oh, burn. Wait now. Right to us, Jack.
No! Run!
Let's haste now. There will be orcs. Don't want them.